In this shocking video, we reveal the startling Marjorie Harvey fact that has the internet agog. Be prepared to be stunned. We explore the complex history of Marjorie's infamous reputation. Discover the tumultuous family drama, the sour conflicts, friction, and accusations that threaten to split the blended family apart, linkages to allegations of drug trafficking and suspicions of stifling dissent at home. We reveal the unknowns that have contributed to the public's dislike of Marjorie. Hello and welcome to everyone to Fame Reporter again. Use this as your go-to resource for all the juicy celebrity rumors. A look at the startling secrets. As we delve even further into the contentious world of Marjorie Harvey, we have an insider tip that will leave you speechless. Did you realize that Marjorie Harvey's opulent lifestyle encompasses much more than just her fancy purses and expensive travel? Marjorie, it turns out, has been at the center of a web of scandals involving prominent celebrities and private trysts. You are free to decide what you want out of life. According to rumors that have been circulating, Marjorie has been involved in a love triangle with some of Hollywood's biggest A-listers, which has caused havoc and heartache in their lives through covert encounters and whispered adultery. It appears that Marjorie always causes trouble everywhere she goes. That's not all, though. I looked much deeper and found shocking proof of Marjorie's guilt-dark past with ties to drug dealers and criminals as well as countless other suspicious commercial dealings. However, let's go back to the beginning. Born on Marjorie. Memphis, Tennessee, October 10, 1964, is a real Libra date. When she was 18 years old and in college as a student, she started dating notorious drug dealer Jim Townsend. Despite Marjorie remained seeing Jim despite discovering the truth because he was married. Not able to, it appears that Marjorie has a history of becoming associated with people who can help them leave their relationship, married males, though we'll get into it more in a moment. Jim goes back to the current narrative. Stated that he was not interested in having children because he was already 3 children out of wedlock. He thought Marjorie was using birth control pills, but she wasn't. Had ceased to use them. She consequently unintentionally got pregnant. Jim he made the choice to divorce his wife and finally wed Marjorie. At this time, Jim had to deal with a federal investigation over his participation in a large-scale drug smuggling ring, drugs all across the U.S. Marjorie and his brother, who was also in danger, were undercover in order to Jim accepted a plea bargain under investigation. He subsequently received a life sentence as a result of this. Jim served less than 5 years of his time in prison before Marjorie moved on. Even though she kept in touch with him. In the meantime, Steve, who wed Marcia in 1981, began a family of he is single and has 3 kids. 3 desired for 2 to have his own family. 10 girls, Brandy and Carly, and a boy, Broderick, were born. In 1990, as per Marjorie claimed to have seen one of Steve's stand-up performances in Memphis to Essence magazine. She showed there late, grabbing Steve's attention as her presence rendered him dumbfounded. He sighed quietly, determined. I have no idea who you are, but one day I will wed you. Marjorie said they started dating because she had a strong intuition that Steve was the one for her. True love. However, Steve immediately distanced himself from them because he was still married to someone else. Possibly because of the difficulties of his previous marriage, he distanced himself from Marjorie. After splitting from Jim Townsend, Marjorie entered a romance alongside Donald Woods, another well-known name in the drug trade. Lori was born to them in January 1997 as a result of their shared adventure. Marjorie and Donald eventually exchanged vows. However, it just so happened that the FBI started looking into Donald and his family's criminal drug enterprises during this time. Donald was given a sentence of 37 months in a federal prison as the court case progressed. Because of this development, Marjorie had to reevaluate her situation and finally file for divorce. She became involved with none other than Steve's steadfast bodyguard William Big Boom Freeman shortly after in 2001. Big Boom, who is well known for his eccentric history, once admitted to have obtained his power and sense of worth through abusing women. He has now had a transformation, though, and he now devotes his time to writing inspirational works for women, including his well-known book. Start with your legs if you want your relationship to be over. Despite their initial chemistry, Marjorie and Big Boom's romantic involvement waned over time. In the meantime, Steve divorced Marcia and started his own marital odyssey. In 1994, he began a new chapter in his life by getting married to Mary Shackelford in 1996. Their lives were made happier by the arrival of Winton, their son, in 1997. Unfortunately, Steve and Mary's marriage ran into problems that resulted in its breakup in 2005, which coincided with the end of his first marriage. Fortunately, Steve found comfort in getting back in touch with Marjorie. Marjorie and Steve decided to start their journey together, exchanging vows in 2007, drawn by a deep bond. In a conversation with Online Radar, Jim, Marjorie's ex-husband, claimed that Steve ordered she cut off all contact. A few days after their marriage, with him. As word of this complex tale spread, claims and rumors that Marjorie is to blame for the death of Steve's prior union with Mary. When Steve filed a lawsuit in 2011, these rumblings only intensified. Lawsuit against Mary stating that her presence made his pursuit of a talk program more difficult. Supported by Oprah Winfrey, a powerful figure, Mary responded by uploading a video to YouTube. 3 tapes were produced to reveal Steve's suspected adultery. According to Mary, Marjorie would phone the number to their marital residence and ask her where she got it or how she knew to call. Ring them up. Mary continued to tell a story about how she applied for a job at Steve's soup firm and how she thought Marjorie was involved. He moved by me and toward Marjorie. Mary also claimed that Steve left her when he made Marjorie his primary partner rather than just his mistress. He allegedly tried to turn their son against her, according to her. Marjorie responded once the films were made public, calling Mary's claims false and vicious. Marjorie stated her position, saying, "As a wife and mother, I cannot stand by helplessly and permit the slander of my character or actions that would harm my family." According to reports, Marjorie thought about taking legal action and hired a lawyer to sue Mary for slander. She ultimately made the decision not to proceed with the complaint, however, as it is essential to establish falsehood in a defamation case. Has he been left? He simply departed. Exited through the door. One of the reasons why Steve maintains increased security measures is Marjorie's past, according to a source familiar with the issue, as reported by Radar Online. Even though Steve may have a dubious past, it pales in comparison to the prominent figures Marjorie has been married to in the past, the source continued. It makes sense that he keeps armed security at his Atlanta home. The 7 of their children went bowling together after Steve and Marjorie started dating, according to Steve, who appeared on Club Shay Shay. When Marjorie's daughters got back, the other girls, including Lori and Morgan, expressed their disapproval of Steve and Marjorie getting hitched. The kids believed that before getting married, their parents should spend more time together. In spite of their protests, Steve and Marjorie eventually got married, and Steve also adopted Marjorie's kids. Nevertheless, speculations of ongoing drama persisted. Radar Online claims that Marjorie's presence in the blended family led to a great deal of conflict and discord. According to a source close to Steve, after adopting Marjorie's kids, he started loving them more than his own. One in particular, Lori, Marjorie's daughter, received special treatment, which was criticized by many as being unfair. If this video was educational, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe buttons on my channel for more engrossing chats. I appreciate your help, and I urge you to spread the word about this video to anyone you think might be interested in joining the discussion. I appreciate your attention. And until then, keep asking questions, looking into things, and having conversations.